And there we go. Good day, everyone. Been a little while longer than I had anticipated it being since my last stream. Yeah, apologies for the mess, shall we say, midweek. Yeah, I had an accident at work, basically. I pulled my back. It was very painful. And I have spent the last few days kind of relaxing, chilling, resting it, and trying to get it fit and well again. It is still not 100%, most certainly not, but it is certainly a lot better than it was when I injured it on Thursday. So yes, that is the reason you guys did not get a stream. I was thinking of doing a stream, but yeah, decided that it was probably not in my health's best interest to sit here and struggle with this steering wheel for a couple of hours when I had just pulled my back. And yeah, it was right in the middle of my back, right round the back, like where my ribs end and my kidneys are. It was a very strange place to pull my back. It was very uncomfortable. Not the worst back injury I've ever had, but certainly not a good one. But hopefully that doesn't interfere with today, because we've got some cargo to deliver. We have quite a bit of cargo to deliver, shall we say. Let's just have a little look here. So it's mostly like this area here. So here, you know, back and forth. That's kind of where we're at the moment. I've got a couple of trucks lined up down here at the garage. So there's the Kenworth, and there's also the Bandit down there, both loaded up with cargo of various kinds for various missions. But we also need the Zeeks and the Tatra here, the Force. So the first order of business today is to get them back down the mountain, because we're going to need Zeeks the next big cargo delivery. We're also going to need the Tatra for more cargo delivery too. And further to that, I also want to try out this little route. Now, on the way up here last time, I came up through the swamp, and let's just say it wasn't the easiest of things to do by any means. So I've decided to try giving this route a go, just to see how it responds when the trucks are empty. And if it responds good when the trucks are empty, then I think I can go this way when the trucks are full. That's the plan. That's the plan. Hey, Bart, nice to see you. How are you this fine Sunday? I myself am doing pretty well. Well, as well as could be expected given the injury that I suffered recently, but, you know, not doing too bad. It is a steep hill for coming back, that's for sure. Probably won't be as bad going down it the other way. Have to watch the speed, I guess, but goodness me, yeah, that is quite steep. Oh, you've got kittens. I've forgotten about that part. That is adorable. I haven't had kittens in the house for a very long time myself. Most of the cats that we've had have either come into the house when they were already old, or they've been rescues. So I haven't had the joy of kittens in a long time. That is brilliant. Glad they're nice and social. That's just what you want. 20 years ago, was it, last time for you? Yeah, probably about the same for me, I would say. I know that my very first cat that I got when I was 1 year old had kittens at a point in her life. So that would have been quite a a while ago, maybe even 30 years ago, maybe even more than 30 years now. There's a thought. Ah. I'm getting old. Never what you want, but hey. Could be worse. I could be turning 40 next year. Oh god. Oh well, never mind. You're only as young as you think you are. Well, that and the arthritis. That kind of has a big deciding factor on how old you think you are as well, I would think. But hey, we do our best, do we not? Okay, so far so good, this route. I think remember this corner that's coming up being a little bit dicey, a little bit potentially problematic. Yeah, that should be okay. Crikey, come on, off the boulder now, off the boulder. But yeah, so we have a lot of cargo shuttling to do today. Like, a lot of cargo shuttling. Oh, how you decidedly dastardly game. Every time. Just in the middle of a hill as well, when you're making good forward progress. It decides, nope, engine cut out. Oh well. No matter. At least we didn't get too stuck there. I seriously am starting to think that that might be a feature as opposed to a bug. Maybe I'll have to ask about it on the Saber forums or something, because it does seem strange that it keeps happening. Always the most annoying part as well, you know? Just as this hill was getting steep. Hey. We're now on the downward slope. Whew. Oh, what I wouldn't give to just kind of YOLO straight down there. Right, look, there's the garage. There is literally the garage. That's where we want. You can see our other trucks down there. Yeah, if I YOLO'd these trucks down this hill, I don't think I'd ever see them again. Nope, we're just gone. I'll just buy some new ones. I wouldn't be rescuing those anytime soon. I don't even think the big crane would help me. They'd be lost in the British Columbian forest forever. Okay, so yeah, I think we can try this route with cargo. I think it'll probably be easier than trying to go via the swamp. That swamp was just not nice. Not nice at all. As long as you can get up this hill bit here, the rest is downhill, so not too bad. That actually only took maybe about 5 minutes. Granted, it was with these two big beefy boys. But we'll see. You left, down the hill, and we can position these ready for the next cargo run and get moving. I'm sure that's not what I wanted to say, but it completely left my brain as soon as I opened my mouth. Yeah. That being said, my head has been full of Starfield recently, guys. I have been having some immense good fun on that game. Myself and Natalie included. Been great. Been very, very good. just kind of spent the last days just playing it pretty much non-stop between the two of us, taking turns. One of us plays for 6 hours and then the next one plays for 6 hours. It's kind of where it's at, you know? Let's focus on the road here, Lynx. Don't want any shenanigans occurring on that corner. That corner is actually easier to navigate going down than it is going up. It's a lot easier to navigate going down. Of course. Where are you? Again. Going downhill this time. Very odd. Oh well. Woo! Rocks ahoy! Right, let's get the Zeeks fixed up to the big trailer. Because that's just down here. And then we can get the horse ready to go as well. And then we'll be taking the Kenworth up with the first load of materials. See here, everything is nicely arranged. Right, I do believe the big trailer is just around here. Get this hooked up and we can switch over and get the next one sorted out. Here it is. Lovely stuff. It's gonna be great. Quite a lot of that. Shot. Quite far back there. A chunk. Right. Perfect. Move this around the corner. This thing fueled up and ready to go. Although this will be the last load we do. Contracts anyway. Not for anything else. Yeah, for the contracts for sure. Go. Come on. Lovely. Right, we'll park this. Actually, no, I think I want to come at this from a slightly different angle because I'm not going to get this trailer around there later on. That's just not going to fit. So I think we'll go all the way around the warehouse here. Come at it from a much straighter angle. This will be better. Better if we can get some speed going. Come on. Let's go. So it's going to be quite a tight turn, but at least we don't have railway barriers and concrete slabs to worry about just here. That's the big advantage. trees, which will not cause us any problems. Fantastic. Right. Perfect. Now, what about this? Let's just have a look at exactly what we'll be hauling. So, this first load is already loaded up onto the Canworth. That's all ready and raring to go. That will then open this one, which is an oversight cargo and a service part, which is currently on the back of the Bandit. That then opens the oil depot, where we need 2 pipes and a drilling equipment, and then the coiled trailer. So, yeah, I think we can load this up onto the Force. So let's get that loaded up and ready. And then it's a case of all trucks to action stations. And hope nothing falls over, because that's going to be a pain if it does. So, cargo, it's a drilling equipment. Yeah, 1 drilling equipment on the trailer. Nope. Then, I'm going to get these pipes loaded. Asked me was clever. He foresaw need for small pipes. Brought them along. Now I'm just got to drop these in. Pack. Back to the crane. This one loaded up as well. There. Attach. Lower that down. That's in place. Perfect. Let's just refuel here, and that is that sorted. So we have part 1 and part 2 of that mission sorted out. But first, we must brave the hills with the Kenworth. Because this guy's got a few things to deliver. So, one here we have 2 small pipes, a metal beam, and 2 service parts. Hopefully, we can get this up the hill. Let's see how we do. Night's starting to fall now as well, isn't it? So just in time for that. It's a great start we're already getting. So as we are on tarmac, this bit of hill here is always an issue. Now begin one of 4 journeys up to the top of the hill. The remainder of these contracts. That'll be the contracts done though. If we can get all 4 of these loads delivered today. That just leaves the tasks. And there's not that many of them left. We'll have to see though. The question is whether the Kenworth can actually get up this hill. Am I asking too much of the truck that hates climbing hills? We shall see. It's probably going to be the most awkward spot just here though. I would imagine. Get all 4 wheels moving, then, you know. Actually, not doing too badly there. Crikey, okay. Oh, I spoke too soon. Stuck on a rock. Yep, that's that big rock there, just snookering us at the last moment there as we try to crest the hill. Over to the left. Over to the left. There we go. Ooh. 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 Crikey Moses, that was slightly scary there. Ooh. Hey, main threat! Welcome to the chat. Sit yourself down, pull up a pew. Have fun, make yourself at home. Nice to have new people around. How are you doing this fine day? Right. Let's see how the Kenworth handles this next hill. It's done okay so far. Well, I think this will probably be one of the last jobs that we actually use it for. Oh, there's the turning. Oh, there, oh, yeah. That was slightly late with the turn there. Right. Let's hope that this route treats us better than the swamp did. That being said, it can't be much worse. It is worse, you know. But you know, I've said that before. Chilly, overcast, but beautiful morning. Ah, very nice indeed. Sometimes overcast weather can actually be the most pleasant. You know, hailing from the UK, I do appreciate nice overcast days sometimes. Yeah. But hey, nice to have the day off as well. That always makes the day better. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay, so far so good. Now, not up to the top yet by any means, but off. Up, up. There we are. Came to a complete stop there. Tires are aggressive looking. Yeah, it's a shame that the truck itself isn't as aggressive as it thinks it is. You know, there is a serious flaw with this truck in that it doesn't like hills. It just seems to lose all of its power when it's going up a hill. But Other than that, it does perform quite well. I am impressed by its abilities, you know? Yeah. Still not going to knock the kings off the top spot, but it's going to be useful in some cases. But it's getting dangerously close to the edge there. Right. I'm going to have to back that up slightly. Get more onto the central ruts here. Come on. There we go. I haven't watched the trailer as well because I don't want to tip that over. Steady. Yeah, there is, you know, there is the option of switching to a different gear for some parts, but I found the Kenworth doesn't really respond that well to it. Like, the high gear is pretty useless for it. And the low gears don't generally do an awful lot. It's just a lack of torque, I think. You know, torque to weight, its power to weight ratio isn't that great. That's the main issue with the truck. It's massive. And its engine just isn't quite big enough. Still. I have heard that, Bart. I have heard that it does perform a little better without all-wheel drive on, because all that power goes to the rear wheels. But the issue I have with that is that you tend to lose all of your steering ability. Because without the front wheels actually biting into the ground, it just seems to just keep on going straight, you know, and won't actually turn. Which is... Oh, stop knocking onto the side there. Which is a slight issue. But, yeah. I'm sure somewhere on the internet someone has done a... Actually, let's try it here. Going in a straight line, let's do a little analysis. Yeah, maybe a little bit better. But now it's getting... Now it's getting stuck. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird truck, you know? Yep. That. Round we go. I think we'll be almost to the downhill section now, so let's hope that this service part doesn't decide to become part of the landscape. As in fall off, I mean. Would be nice not to have to stop. But we'll see. As long as it doesn't fall off anywhere inconvenient, you know. As long as it, if it is going to fall off, as long as it falls off where I can easily reach. Oh, speak of the devil. It fell off. I could see that coming. Right. There you. Up you come. Hey, look who's out and about. It's the good old Artuin. Like she's off to the corner to give herself a little sun, but hey, she's actually out of her house, which is nice. Here we go. Get this lined up. Off and back down. There we go. Yeah, she's just going to sit there now. If she starts moving around, then switch back to the cam for a little bit for her. Hey, yeah? Are you going to do anything interesting today, or are you just going to sit there? Huh? No. Have to have words with our star here, you know, because sometimes I don't think she takes her responsibility seriously. Oh, oh, oh no! What's it doing? It's moving. That isn't locked down at all. What are you? That's better. A bit more in the oh wait, no it's not. It's totally not, because now it's off to one side. Oh, this thing is... It's like, it realises that I'm not far from my destination and I just want to kind of get there. And it's choosing this precise moment to be awkward. Right, up. Turn yourself around. Down. That looks better. And we're actually gripped in the centre now as well. There we are. Perfect. Right. We haven't got actually that far to go, so long as we don't have any too many major jolts, that shouldn't go anywhere. Here's hoping anyway. Jostling cargo there, that's for sure. Let's give this a go again with just the rear wheels, just to see how it goes. Give it some low pluses. Ah, hey. All-wheel drive for that bit, so we get some bite front tyres. Now we're kind of back into better terrain for it. Oh, nearly there, thankfully. Nearly there. Around the corner here. Turn. Round we go. Come on. No. There we are. There we go. Sorted. Close, so close, so close. Yeah, I think that is a much better route than trying to force your way through the swamp. Although the swamp route is a lot shorter in terms of length, I think it's a lot slower in terms of time, just because of all of the tree branches and snags that there are in there. Right. Okay, pumping house, let's get you up and running again. One or two of those, one of those, and then store, pack, and boom! Oh, pumping house is back together. 15k Okay, thank you very much, sir. Right. Get this guy out of the way because if I remember correctly, we've got to come back down here with the next cargo load. So, yeah, we probably don't want to be having to drive past this thing. There. So, beautiful. Go and refuel at the trailer. Marvelous. Right. So, yeah, not sure what we're going to be using this guy for again, if indeed anything. We've got these major contracts done. I don't think we're going to need a truck like this. The only other big cargoes we have to do is 3 drilling rigs. I think that would be better tailored to a semi-trailer. Just doing a couple of trips. Yeah. Best idea. Drop this trailer. Don't think I'm going to need it. Attach trailer there. Go and refuel, and then we will park this up just out of the way. Doesn't interfere with any of our other. Let's pull this thing over here so that it's more easily accessible. Kenworth is strong enough at least to do that quite well. Right. Go. Okay. Fuel. Perfect. This place is going to be scattered with trailers, by the way. It's going to be absolutely scattered with trailers because I don't think we're going to need very many of them now. Bought a load of trailers in order to get on with various jobs, and we are just not going to need them anymore now. With this being hard mode, we can't exactly sell them. Right. Kenworth, step 1 done. Let's get this one on the track. Yeah, this is going to here, and then where's this going? Also to here. It's begging you to go through the swamp. Is it worth it? Is it really worth going through the swamp, or am I better off doing the route? It's just so much shorter. But it was so, like, coming through the swamp. Steady on cursor. Going through the swamp, you kind of come round here and just go straight there. Whereas we're kind of going up and over and round here, like so, and then down this road. We'll have to see. Let's see. Right, where's the bandit? There's the bandit. Good stuff. Right. Just slurp some fuel out of the Mac there, I think. Lights on, and let's get this delivered. Should have everything on board here. Yep, we do indeed. 1 oversized cargo and 1 service part. Let's see how the bandit tackles this. If it does it well, I might be tempted to use this guy to deliver the oil rig drills later on. We're going to need sideboard beds for that. 5 slots for the drills. Oh, bonk. Depends how much mission makes it. But it does all right. goes. Up we go, bandit. Come on. That's it. Certainly making a slightly quicker job than the Kenworth did, but we don't have quite as heavy a load on this. Over. I've actually been surprisingly pleased with how well the Bandit has been tackling British Columbia, you know. I haven't used it up until this map, because I always found it to be a little bit unstable, and just, you know, lacking in range a little bit because of its fuel tank, but it's actually been really good at tackling these awkward routes. There we go. Now, the question, left or right? Do I dare brave the swamp again? Let's do it once. And then, because the other two loads also have to go to the same location. So let's try one route through the swamp, right? Coming up around here and over to the service station. And if it proves to be far too much of an aggro, we'll take the longer route, the other two vehicles. But I really want to kind of expedite this as quick as possible, yeah? Did we bring this guy through here last time? Or was it a different vehicle we brought through? I can't remember. I know we brought the Force through. You stupid thing. Stuck in a ditch, haven't you? That's better. Come on. You can already see this being a massive mistake. But hey ho. Such is the choices we make. Okay, it's okay. One little suspension point isn't going to break us. And this is... We came through here with the Force at night time as well, didn't we? So we couldn't really follow the road properly. Right. So, going straight on here. Let's try slow plus. Just try and keep some movement going. Nothing else, you know? As long as we're moving forwards, that's fine. Okay. See if I can get up on this slightly higher ground here where these trees are. There we go. Okay. Now, this road go? Round to the right here, I believe. Right in thinking that? Yeah, I think it goes kind of round here. Something like that. Maybe not exactly like that, but something like that. Around here. Gonna need to make So far, so good. Actually doing a lot better than what we did with the what we did with the horse. That's there now. Not that it's easy, but as bad. Go. And the sun rises. Excellent. Actually see where the road is now. Maybe that will make it just a little bit easier for us. Flotation tires are really helping with this mud. Good. There we go. There we go. Fantastic. Move in. Keep this wagon moving. That one now. Get to a slightly better location. Up, two, sleep. Yeah, that was certainly a lot easier. I get the feeling we probably shouldn't bring the force back through here, though. Just it just doesn't. I think we've only kind of really gotten through here as easily as we can. Excuse me, guys. Stop it. Because of the flotation tires on this thing, I think if we go through here again with the Tatra's skinny tires, we're probably just going to dig ourselves into an early grave. So I think we'll go the long way around the old horse. I think with the Zeeks we'll probably try coming back through the swamp. That should be okay. Yeah, don't worry guys, I have seen my fuel tank. I know it's getting low. Just kind of want to get out of here before I start refueling myself. Right. drop this off. One cargo, one service part. Marvellous. Lovely. Okay. Hey babe, nice to see ya. Oh, don't apologise. I'd still be playing Starfield 2 if I wasn't streaming. Right, let's get this back into auto, get this turned around, out of the way again, because like with the Kenworth, we want a clear route. Not anything in the way. Go. Get this back over to where the Kenworth is. We'll park it up there, I think. Just so that it's out of the way. So far, so good. Get this thing back down to the garage because we'll need, I think we'll be using this to deliver the drills. This has proved to be quite a good little vehicle. I'm going to give the drill delivery mission responsibility to this thing. Do. That giant rocks. Whoa! Didn't see those. How did I miss those? Momentarily worried there. Right. Almost fuel. Yeah, I couldn't have balanced a drill on top of that cargo. But pity. Refuel and park down next to spin round here. This is where the drills need to go. Look at that, right in here. Fun times. Oh yes, yes. There's three drill sites right there. Well, that's good to know. We've got to deliver them on a hill. Crikey. We'll have to be able to convoy both of these vehicles back to base later on. Right. The last part. Oh, okay. Small parts, drilling equipment, and then the coiled tubing. Last contract, guys. Last contract. Now, where did the force go? There you are, sir. Alright. Let it begin. Oh, that was the drop-off point that's lowest on the hill. Oh, great. I can just see that being a bundle of fun, Bart. We might actually get to some drill delivery today. Just depends how we fare with this last contract. Yeah, we're getting into the final part of this area now. Probably won't finish today, but maybe next time? Who knows? Rather exciting, especially with Phase 11 on the horizon, you know? Phase 11 is... So, Phase 11 apparently has received its final PTS update. So there won't be any more updates to the PTS. What is on the PTS is going to be what's in live. So it's literally just a case of certification. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it within a couple of weeks, you know? Which is why I'm kind of glad we're on the home stretch with this. Because, yeah. It's, we're going to be cutting it close, I think. That. Hope that we don't fall over. That would be bad. Not that rock, please. Not that rock. There we go. Round. Ooh, trailer. Trailer. Behave yourself. Behave yourself. There we go. Okay. You just see the trailer just sliding just enough to unhook the load. And that would be a right royal pain in the bum. Hey, no problem, Bart. See you soon. Back. Auto for now. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. So yeah, I think we'll take the long way around, guys, because the bandit, you know, it did a good job of getting through the swamp there, but I think its tyres are considerably better and its load was a lot lighter. So I think we'll probably be best served going round the long way. This guy, just be on the safe side, you know? The last thing I want to do is get stuck in the swamp. Go this way. It keeps it fresh as well, yeah? I know we're using the same kind of routes for these jobs, but mixing it up a little bit here and there makes it a little bit more interesting. Force. This. Going good so far. Round, round, round. There we go. There we go. That's it. Pull, pull. Okay. Something there. Okay, let's try. That was a great winch point. Thank you, game. That's better. That's it. Ooh. Steady on now. Frankie. That is a tree root. That's what nearly got me there. Yeah, I will say I won't be disappointed to see the back end of those tree roots. They have been probably the worst obstacle added to this game ever in terms of annoyance factor. I mean, sure, there have been, like, you know, icy routes with lots of rocks and everything like that that are just a struggle to get up and all that kind of stuff, but you can kind of prepare for those. You can go, right, okay, I need some ice tyres, chains, I need all-wheel drive and diff lock, I need to just kind of go at it, you know? But these tree routes, you cannot prepare for them, because they're like Romulans on steroids. You know, they're just really, really nasty things. Ooh, that's not where I wanted to be. Thank you very much, game. This corner is a really bad one, you know? Just in terms of, you know, the amount of steering you need to put on, and then the amount of peril if you don't get that amount of steering on. It's just nasty. There we go. That's better. Now we're good. Should be. There we go. But yeah, the tree roots are just like Romulan stumps that are just, you know, they've developed even better cloaking technology. You just cannot see those tree roots until you're literally on top of them. Probably beached on them in most cases. They're, I admire the design of them, because I will be real, when you've been playing SnowRunner for this long, the same kind of things become not hard to overcome, you know? They are a lot easier to manage, like ice and stumps and even big rocks, you know? They become easier to handle. So it's nice to have a fresh challenge. Gosh, they weren't quite as heart attack inducing as they are sometimes. Heartache? My heart breaks for the tree stumps. Yeah, that's tree roots. See, I can't get it right at all, can I? Okay. Don't go there. Go that way. That's it. That's it. There we go. back on. Definitely think this was the better option. Can't imagine the peril that I would have been going through in the swamp right now had I chosen to go that way with it. This is definitely has been better. Make sure I don't fall over at any. Good. Be on there, trailer. Your bouncy bounce. Avoid that there. Carving a groove into the landscape. I might as well have a snowplow on the front, I think, at this point. It's kind of like creating my own roads. Carving a swath through the countryside. Like a brick carves a swath through a window. A window? Window. A brick swathing. Hey, we are on the home stretch almost. Never say never, of course. Come on. Steady. Steady. Ooh. That was getting uncomfortably angled there. So glad we have this nice bridge to cross. Oh, lovely. That. Just across past the pumping station over to the destination, and then it's the last big trailer. Oh. Come on. That's gonna be good. Right. Hit that throttle. We fall over here, we don't have a problem. We have two other trucks capable of righting us. Not that I want to fall over at this point, but, you know, added speed is good. Have that slightly solid ground there. Marvellous. Da 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 da. Go. Oh, yeah, people love it when I fall over. Everybody loves it when I fall over, apart from me. That's true. That is true. I don't see any circumstances where I am going to fall over today. But then again, Snowrunner has a way of sneaking up on you like that sometimes. Usually whilst you've got one hand off the wheel taking a drink. Yeah, I do hope that I don't fall over. Sooner or later, it is inevitable. I do have a rather praised driving style sometimes. You know, I will openly admit that sometimes I make utterly ludicrous decisions and reap the consequences for it. And then you know what happens? Do I learn from my mistakes? Nah, I'll just do them again next week. Like, no. That's how I roll. Literally. Okay, that was a bad joke. Come on, cross this swamp. Past the drilling station and then to the drop-off point. Please turn. Please turn. No, you're not going to turn, are you? No, you're not going to turn. You're just not quite going to have quite enough lock to get round that rock. Watch, this is where I realised that I brought the wrong thing. I've accidentally packed a large cargo on the back instead of a drilling equipment container. that I've done before as well. But here's hoping that I haven't done it this time, because I really don't want to have to bring another big container up here. That would be infuriating if I had, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. I think I'm pretty sure I didn't. Am I? Don't know. Find out. I'm pretty confident I packed the right thing. If not, I'm going to look like a right fool. Not bad on the fuel consumption, you know? Despite this terrain, fuel has survived. Most of it, anyway. Certainly got enough left to get me back again. Right, round here, and is that the drop-off point right there? It is. How lovely to see that. Has to take a couple of suspension points off. Of course it does. Right, one pipe, one drilling equipment. Got the crane, pack the cargo, one more pipe. Lovely. Right. Yeah, let's get this moved. I think I might have to turn around the long way. And the Tatra, when it's got a trailer attached, doesn't like turning at the best of times. I suppose I could opt to not refuel at the trailer. We do have fuel back at base. It's just fuel from that and park this off to the side. Drag it back through the swamp later. Make sure that the trailer itself is out of the way, because that being the sticking point. Yeah. Fine, there we we go. Right. One last item to deliver. Oh. Gotta get limber for this. This is gonna be a big one. Right. Let's do this. Trailer hoy! Now I really can't see where I'm going. At least with the mining trailer, you can kind of see over the top of it almost. But this I'm steering via my roof rack. This is going to be fun. Down we go. Okay. Perfect. Right. Let's get this party started. Can't see a blind thing here at all. Come on now. Up we go. Is the trailer stuck on something? Right. Yep, of course. Of course it jumped the railing. Why should I not be surprised? Right. Add a little bit of pulling power here. And that was the biggest waste of time in the known universe. Oh, will you stop it? That one will work. There we are. I think that was it. Yep. I think it's free of the railing. Whew. Okay. Underway. Once again, we're heading into the swamp. As the day... Come on. Come on. Nope. Please. That's it. A little bit more. Round. Please turn. That was a whole wasted heap of progress there. Come on, Zeeks. Round we go. It's not getting any traction on this ground at all. Come on. That's it. Let's just beaching itself on the middle of the trailer. Whew. Okay. Come on. Pull. Pull. Just. Come on. Out of the mud pit. That's it. That's it. There we are. Full left lock, and I'm going right. I do not have any tyres on the ground. That was bad. Oh, it just keeps beaching itself. Come on. Come on. Saddle height is not high enough to give me enough ground clearance to avoid these bumps. What's going on there? The Zeeks has a big saddle as well. Let's not beat around the bush. It's not a small truck. But we're free. We are free. Lights are on. Yep, lights are on. Marvellous. Okay, to the swamp. Because we want one more flogging. I want to have one last painful session. One more beating for the road. In this case, from the road. That. We aren't beaching. That's always a plus point. And now. Okay. Going good. Going good. There we go. Oh. Right. Doesn't help that I can't really see anything. But so far, it's handling it well. Right. Let's see how much of this swamp we can actually get through before night falls. Also, actually wonder how much of this swamp it will be able to take in auto gear. Interesting one to try out. How much of this can we get through with just the winch and... Winch, please. Attached to useful targets. Not unhelpful in every way, shape and form targets. Right. That's better. This machine is definitely designed to take this terrain. Up until this point. Just up on something. Found our first tree root. Yeah, there it is to the left. Still moving. at least. Yeah. Phew. Right. Yep. Nearly there. Nearly there. Actually, not far to go now. It's open anyway. Perfect. Which point? Let's go. Come on now. Some tires. The good stuff. Hey, City Flyer, hello! How are you doing? Right, here we go. So close. That's good to hear. I like it when things are going good for people. There's the Tatra. Drop-off zone is just round the corner. Pity it's going to be in the night time when we get the little movie. Nice to see it in the actual daytime, but hey, you know. Oh, stuck on something. For once, it's not actually. Trailer's stuck. It's right there. Oh, it's stuck on that. Right. Hang on. Let's see if I can't get a point from say, that corner. No, is that not going to work? There. Let's try that. Back around again. What I was afraid of. Tatra, how did I know that you were going to end up being in the way? There we go. Now we can do it. Here we go. One last hoorah. And into the box. Woohoo! Ah, champion. Hey, that is nice to hear, City Flyer. Yeah, I've been keeping up on the news regarding the new phase that's coming out soon, phase 11. But yeah, I had heard some good things about it. Definitely, there is some very good stuff coming, which is great. Ah, right. That. Yeah, glad you're enjoying it. I'm looking forward to getting into it when it goes onto the live server. I don't play PPS. I prefer to wait for it to be finished first. So, restoring communications. Something for the observatory. This one. Let there be oil. It, isn't it? Let's just communications. Assisting civilization. Yeah, got that. Let there be oil. That's it. And of course, this one contest. Oh my lord, we have 4 things left to do, guys. 4. 4. Whew. Man. I would say we might be able to finish that today, but I think that might be a bit of a push, considering we have to haul 3 more lots of cargo up to this area here for this one job. This one here is going to be a right nightmare. 3 drills. But I think what we're going to do first of all is this restoring communications. I think this is what we're going to do. And we're going to bring a new truck out, I think. Because we can get a cargo here, and then we can come across the bridge, round, down past the farm, and then up there. And then we can do the contest immediately afterwards. So what we need is the garage. You did the drill task in one go. Do tell, City Flyer, how did you manage that? That's a lot of cargo slots to have the hauling in one go. Right, which one should we take out for a spin today? We're going to want something with a bit of grunt behind it that can tackle hills at speed. Thinking maybe one of the Borons. 2 on the trailer and 1 on the winch. You are a madman. I like your style. I might actually have to try that. Yeah, might have to try that. Which truck would be best for doing that? Oof, right. Anyway, let's think about that in a moment. Maybe we could take this guy out, you know. There's plenty of fuel on this map. So it's not like we're going to run out. And this guy is a prompt little mister, you know. I think we're going to take this guy out. Let's customize him first, though. Because you don't need a crane. You just need the bed. That'll cut down on, you know, frame overhang and weight. Good. Skin. Look what we have just around the corner here, guys. Some fuel! Oh my, it's almost as if I knew I was going to need it. I'm going to need to repair as well. That's fine. We've got repair points. We should have some repair points. In fact, actually, before we cross over, can we repair their wheel? Is that it? Crikey. Maybe I'm better off putting some repairs in the garage before we take this thing over there, because I'm going to need that suspension. Yeah, 2,500. That's fine. Let's go. Whoa, portable sun, ignition. Let's go. Because this thing will be able to get back down the hill really promptly. You know, and that's what we're going to need for the contest. Yeah, there's fuel at the farm, so we can dive in there to get fuel. One cargo container, please. Thank you. Let's go. Do. Speedy time. Woo. Too speedy almost there. Straight off the cliff. Ah! That would have been another case of, yep, I'm not getting that back. I might as well buy another one. To try and take out the suspension before we've even reached the top of the hill. Hey, Snack Pack! I like your username. That is fantastic. But yes, I have... all of the regions have been 100%ed. And we are very close to 100%ing this region as well. It's been a long road. But that's what we do. We've only got 3 jobs and a contest left to do on this map. And that's it for this entire region. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a lot to do. Definitely, you know, the 100%ing everything. It's a lot to do, and I will admit that some regions I've had to come back to on numerous occasions in order to finish them off. I didn't actually start off 100%ing everything, but that's where we are now. Right. Let's get this delivery done. I do actually wonder where we are percentage-wise for this region. It must be in the high 90s. It must be in the high 90%. I've ever been up this particular road. I think it isn't too crazy. Steering lock there. See where I'm going now. In a good position to be in. Not on a cliff road like this. Okay, now I can kind of see going there. Crikey. Okay. Oh yeah. Snack pack, yeah. Just logging missions in general are really just really, really nasty in most cases. Not every case. Some of them are actually not too bad, but yeah, I would say after farming, logging is my least favourite activity. I mean, even the water hauling in Ontario, I would probably say, whilst slightly boring, was easier than logging. Not that I'd want to do water hauling again, that can stay in Ontario for all I care. But yeah. I try to simplify my logging as far as possible, just take all of the logs at the same time in a flatbed or a sideboard bed and just use a crane to load it at each end. Right, here's your cargo pod, misters. Boom. Thank you very much. Now, let's get prepared for this contest. Spin around first before we go anywhere. Yes, snack pack. Actually, it was intended to work that way for those particular towers, because what they were supposed to be is you would, like, several of those towers would be connected, like the boom towers. Like A and B would be connected to each other, so if you put water in the way, you'd be able to get it out of B, and vice versa. So it was supposed to be a way of like transferring water from one side of the map to the other, whilst and skipping out the bit in the middle. The problem was the boom towers were placed in such awkward locations that it was actually easier just to transport the water from an actual water source to its destination and then come back again, because going to the boom towers was actually more awkward in some cases. It was bizarre. I could see what they were going with, but it totally didn't work, which is unfortunate. Right, let's see what we're doing here. So, observatory to that location right there, to the observatory. So we want to be going back the way we came, and then up this road, through here, and then up and around past the watchtower. I think that's going to be the best way to go. So let me just flag down a couple of marker points here, just so that I know exactly where we're going. Hopefully, we won't have an issue here. Right, let's do this. 5 minutes 25. That seems doable for a gold. I mean, we have got a good truck for speed. So, handbrake off. Let's go. Love it if I could just throw this thing off the edge, but knowing my luck, I'd end up on my roof, and it would be a whole pain. No. If I was doing this in a scout, I probably would just throw it off the cliff. Hope that I landed somewhere appropriate for it, but let's take the road and see how we go. Grab some fuel at the farm if we're going to need the fuel at the farm, aren't we? Definitely. So a quick splash and dash as we go past. So far, so good though. Starting to get the feeling I might not make it in the 5-minute timer, considering I've already been going 1.5 minutes and I've not made it down the hill yet. But it's less about gold and more about checking it off. Long since past caring about getting gold ranks on the competitions. Right. Splash and get going. Yeah, I don't think we'll make five and a half minutes. Nearly halfway there through our timer. Well, maybe. Don't know. Might get a silver. Fingers crossed. Get a silver. Might not as well, for that matter. Oh, if only I could teleport up hills. Like literally just on the top of this hill here. If only I could drive up sheer rock faces. So good. 2 minutes left. Come on now, Azog. This is what you were made for. Let's have ya. Minute. Can I make it? Is this road going to be nice to me? Gonna make it, are we gonna make it? Just depends on this last few corners. Oh god, no! No! Come on. 15. I take it all back. Woo! What? Oh boy. That was a thing. Oh wow. Right. Finitoed. We actually got the gold. I am suitably impressed. Where are we? 97%. Holy wow. Okay. That's close. But yes, snack pack, just so that you can see, 99% of everything, 100% across the board. British Columbia 97. Right, we have the oil drills, and we have this one. I have not been looking forward to this one, by the way, guys. Not at all. What needs to go where? So, the trailer, vehicle spare parts, forester's house, consumables, shed, short logs. Okay. So that's, I think the drop-off order for that is going to be the forester's house, then the trailer, then the shed. But first we need to actually get all of these things together. Fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun, fun. Right, okay. We do have some short logs by the wayside, but is it going to be quicker to just go and get them from the pickup point or not? We need a truck that can take a short logging frame and a crane to pick them up. Let's see what we have in the garage. Otherwise, we've got to go up to the. Actually, you know what? It might just be easier to not bother. So, for those of you who have been here a while, you'll know that just about here, I have 3 short logs lying by the wayside, but the logging station is literally just here. And I'd have to send a truck out there with a crane and then spend a load of time picking it up. It might actually just be easier to send a truck out here to pick them up straight away from the logging station, as opposed to bothering. The question is, which truck am I going to use? Because it needs to be able to get through the nasty. Do I bring a truck down from the hillside? I don't think any of those trucks would actually work very well for this job anyway. What have we got in storage? Definitely not you. Dan can take it, sadly. Might have to be like one of the Tigers, maybe? Maybe the Tiger B. Does Tiger B have a short frame? I suppose I could take the Forester, because it can tow a trailer, but whether it's got the grunt to get up there or not. Actually, the Forester might not be a bad idea. It has got a good ground clearance. It can tow a trailer, so we can pop the other stuff that we need on board. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the Forester. We don't want the medium attachment, we just want the short attachment. Hey Bart, welcome back. Just the short attachment is fine. Everything else is good as is. Colours at all? I kind of like that yellow and green one. Right. And actually, with the Forester, we can go and pick up those logs quite easily. We don't have to worry. So, take this trailer with us. Do. Where do I get bits? So, consumables. Can I get consumables from there? No. Where do the consumables come from? Oh, the farm. That's slightly irritating, but okay. So I've got to take the trailer over to the farm, grab the consumables, come back, grab the logs, then come down and grab the vehicle part. Okay, that's fine. That's doable. First things first, then. Right, this trailer. with us. Do it now, please. Perfect. Right. How are we doing time-wise? We have an hour left. Okay. So, just slightly longer than an hour. Okay. First, go and get the consumables. Go and grab the logs, and then back through here for the plan. That's the plan. And we're up into the hills to deliver all of this. After scouting the watchtower that's up there near this task, this has been one of the things that I have been least looking forward to on this map. It's crazy up there. I'm sure you probably know it already. Most of you, I would suspect, have already played this region to completion by now. Yeah. Last time I went up there, I got very bogged down. But the little scout was great, you know? I will say that I am still impressed by that little wrangler. One of the best small... is, actually, in my book, the best small scout there is. Absolutely brilliant. I think when I eventually get around to updating my tier lists, I think it's going to go back. It's going to go into the S rank, along with Tatterin and Gar, I think. Because it is massively impressive. Doesn't do anything but scout, but it scouts really well. Certainly wouldn't want to pull any loads with it, you know, but hey. Scouted this entire region with that thing, and I think I might actually take it out and scout the next map bit as well, so just how much I like it. Right. One consumable, please. Fantastic. Lovely. Grab any fuel at this point. More than sufficient for the time being. Grab some fuel back over at base before we head out. Do-do-do. Good stuff, good stuff. Right. Weird stall there. Again, with the engine cut out. Come on now, Forrester. Let's go. Okay, we'll leave the trailer here, just so that I can maneuver better. Go and grab those logs. Short hop, skip, and a jump round. Model, I think probably going to want to back up the hill, but I don't have to back down the hill with logs on board. So, yeah, I think that would be the better way to do it. Go across, spin round, back up the hill, and load these logs on. Providing, of course, they're still there and they haven't somehow miraculously disappeared. So, turn around. At least this thing is nice and stable, you know, this center steering point does make for an agile little truck. Well, not poke its nose into a tree, that is. Go. Let's get up the hill. Better off going actual reverse gear here. Where did those logs go? Oh, they're here somewhere. How far up the hill are they? Here they are. Beautiful. Right. Can I get both of these at the same time? That is the bank. Right. I think I do have both of those. Nice. That's not how I wanted that to happen. Maybe that's actually going to work. Advantage there. Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably better just to put this one down. And then we'll go for the rest. Down. Shame I couldn't get both of those. But hey ho. Perfect. And one more. Down we go. have it. By Joves, I have it. Perfect. Hack. I love how the cab rotates on this thing. It's really cool. Right, one lot of short logs. Let's go and get this vehicle part and... steady on, Forrester. Stay on the road, please. That would be appreciated. Let's go and get this vehicle part and get this task done. Then all we're going to have left to do is the oil drills that need 3 of them. I think what I might do, guys, is schedule that for Thursday. Yeah. So we'll do a little stream on Thursday to finish off SnowRunner. I think that would be... yeah, I think that'll work nicely. Then we're all ready and raring to go for when the next phase comes out. Which I'm predicting is probably going to be in a couple of weeks' time. You know? I wouldn't be surprised if we see it early October for Phase 11. I think early October is not outside the realms of possibility. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's soon, because we're out of SnowRunner content so shortly. Hey, who knows? Maybe it'll be next weekend. Stranger things have happened, you know? We haven't had an official date, but then, if memory serves me, I don't think we got an official date for this phase until very, very soon before it released. Didn't they, like... I might be wrong, but didn't they, like, announce Phase 10 and then it released, like, a couple of weeks later? Or, like, a week later or something? It was very, very short time period between the announcement and it coming out, if I remember right. That sticks in my brain. I'm not sure if I'm completely 100% on it, but I think that's what happened. Just hook this up. Perfect. Get ourselves a service part. Vehicle part, I should say. Grab some fuel, garage, and head off. The debris. Man. Oh. One next dock, isn't it? Here. Just over here. Slightly awkward to get to. Go round. No, I cannot. Okay. Have to poke my nose in and then hope I can reverse out. Vehicle part, yes. Vehicle part packed. I've got a double corrugated monstrosity here to reverse. Talk about an absolute nightmare. I think if I can... not that close. If I can just slip between those railings there. That's perfect. Don't have to reverse too far. Beautiful. Okay. Fuel and then formulate plan. Right. So, not only is it a million miles away, but it's really awkward when we get there. So let's have a look. What is going to be the best? Oh, actually, it's not that far. I'm using this route here, which I've not actually... I don't think I've used this route before. Have I used this route before? Maybe. Oh, yes, I did, because I had to bring... Did I bring something else up here? I can't remember. But we've got to go down to this one first. Then we're coming back down here to here. And then up to there. Yeah. Doing that will allow me to get rid of the trailer immediately. Delivering the two things on the trailer first and foremost before anything else. Then I don't have to worry about dragging it with me after I've delivered logs and such. I'm just going to deliver logs. Okay, let's see how well this works. How many tree roots am I going to get stuck on? Well, currently I'm stuck in the mud, so never mind tree roots. Come on, seriously. What is this? Not bode well. This is not an auspicious start to this endeavour if I'm getting stuck on this hill. See how that does it. That's better. Getting a whole load of wheel spin, mind you. Look at that right rear tyre there. That is stuttering like crazy. Even with diff lock. Usually it is. Well. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. All I hope is that the trailer does not decide to fall over, because I don't have any way of repacking it if it does. And with that, I've jinxed myself. It's definitely going to fall over now. You watch. Okay. Let's not think like that. Let's think, no, of course it won't fall over. That's just silly. We're going to be absolutely fine. Just look at this wondrous hill we have to climb. Isn't that just perfectly not going to be a problem for the trailer? Yeah. This is going to be great. Stuck in low plus with diff lock for the whole trip, to be absolutely honest. But no, trailer, don't you dare, trailer. Have me worried about the whole. This trailer is going to have me worried about it the entire time. Just you watch. Right. So, the climb begins. Not looking climbing yet. We're going down now. That's just great, that is. Here we go. Here's where we start the climb. Oh boy. Okay, and what a climb we have ahead of us. Oh boy. Lovely. We're still moving. I mean, that's half the struggle, really. So as long as you're still moving, you're good. It's when you stop. That's when you start having problems. As long as you can get movement and maintain it. That. So far, so good. Haven't got to the problem area yet. We're just climbing a hill. Yeah. Nope. That is a corner. That is definitely a corner. Crikey. And again, conked out. That's 4 times today. Done that to me. That, oh god, that trailer. Get out of the ditch, man. That's it. Oh, this is a hill. Crikey, that's not a road, that's just a repurposed piece of mud. Which point? The tree's going to collapse, so it's that one. Alright. Oh boy. We have nearly finished the climb at least. That's part 1 of the battle. Oh my goodness me. Right. Come on. Come on. Really don't want to have to be doing this in the dark. I really don't. But the sun's going down. I'm going to be doing this in the dark, aren't I? I can just see it happening. Right. First drop off to the left. maybe it won't be as bad as I remember. Then again, maybe it will. Better view, now I can actually see where I'm going, which is always a good thing. Nearly there. Slight turn here. Trees. Hopefully I can make this. £600 turn. Wouldn't be quite so bad if that tree there was not right where it is. Oh, no, 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 no. Pack yourself back up. Right, this is... Lordy, that tree is going to cause more issues for me than anything else. Okay, right. No, 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 you son of a... What did I frickin' say, chat? What did I say? Just had to. If it wasn't for that damn tree, I would have been able to make it round it. I would have been delivered as by now. How fecking dare? I hate this game sometimes. I mean, still... There you go, you see, that's all I needed, just that little bit of extra space. No. It had to be an absolute swine. Now. Could I nudge this back? Hey, Turtle! Hello! Nice to see ya. We're dealing with a disaster. Can't believe that... Oh, behave yourself, Crane. I know this is not what you were designed for, but this is what you're doing right now. You know, maybe. Not a chance. It's just... I fucking hate this game. I hate you. I would have just brought 2 trucks if I thought about this. No. No. Right at the last possible second, you fall over. The last possible second. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. It's despicable. It is honestly despicable. Now I've got to bring another truck all the way up here. Okay, fine. Fine. We need a truck with a crane, not necessarily with a flatbed, that is capable of taking on that terrain. Maybe a Voron. Just so happens that it's literally the furthest possible point that it could have happened. It happened. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? What am I? Gee, oof. I'm expecting anything less than that to happen. Yeesh. What silliness is this? Tega could do it. Just customize this bad boy up a little bit. Loading crane and wait, of course we can't have that combination. But with just the crane, we can do it with the trailer. Slightly more annoying, but possible. Yeah. Actually, why am I using those tires and not the balloon tires? Am I some sort of crazy person? That's what I want. Crazy balloon tires. Added stability and everything. Right. Okay. Take it to the rescue. Let's go. got to the risk. I must say, I haven't taken this guy out for a spin in a long time, you know? Long, long time. Fall over. Hey, Turtle. Yeah, the Kenworth is not bad at all. You know, not bad. It's got a few flaws, but overall, it's a pretty good truck. A decent addition to the game. You know, it's nice to have trucks that aren't necessarily always overpowered, but are still good, you know, still usable, still on the list of acceptables. What do I think of the Mac? My opinions on the Mac are not are not very good. But saying that, the PT Hess has done some good things for it. In the next phase, it might actually be a worthwhile vehicle. The collision mod for its suspension and its undercarriage has been redone, and apparently it now actually performs like other trucks in its class. It performs the same as like the Tega in terms of like rock climbing and, you know, not getting snagged on things. So it may actually be that when Phase 12 comes out, Phase 12? Phase 11. Phase 11. When Phase 11 comes out, it might actually be usable again. Which I hope it is, because I actually really like the Mac. I think it could be a very strong workhorse, you know. But I actually hope the same thing. I really want to actually use the Mac. I love the triple wheel layout at the back. I think it's got good power. It's nice to have an American truck that has some good capability, you know, because we have been lacking good. Well, I suppose we have the dairy in Ontario, but, you know, on the whole, we don't get an awful lot of very good American trucks, and it's going to be really nice to actually have that if the Mac indeed does start performing better. That was not as bad as I thought it was going to be getting back up here. So, let's get ourselves lined up. Let's knock this trailer back onto its wheels. That's not where I wanted you to end up, but okay. Tell you what. Ow, you son of a pancake. That'll do better. Winch. Trailer first. Let's get this brought round, hooked up, and good to go. Perfect. Right, the crane. Actually, I don't want to do that yet. Detach first. Actually want to be more alongside the trailer, otherwise I'm not going to get anything into said trailer. I suppose I could always park on the trailer like that as well, that'll do. But yeah, the Mac, hopefully, at the moment, don't even bother. But hopefully, with the new phase coming out, it will get the just treatment that it deserves. I will say, I was actually more excited for the Mac than the Kenworth. Sacrilege, I know, right? But yeah, that was my that was my thing. I saw the Mac and I was just like, ooh, a new off-roader? Nice, you know? Because for big trucks, I've already kind of got the ones that I like to use. Not that I haven't been using the Kenworth, of course. Perfect. Oh, right. Okay. All done. Now then, let's get this sorted. So we're going back down the road here and then up here to the trailer. I suppose I could give this back to the Forester, but I think I'll just take it. Just makes sense whilst I'm hooked up, you know, and then at least if we have any more issues with the cargo coming loose, the crane is right here and ready to go for it. It's a slightly wonky route I took there, but at least it worked. Yeah. Yeah. I'll be taking the Mac back out for another test run once we get to phase 11, that's for sure. So I want to put that thing through its paces again. Hey, when we get back into phase 11, I might actually do some updated tier lists. We have had some new trucks since then, and some of my opinions regarding current trucks have also changed. So, you know. Maybe do some updates. First, we get down to the left here. Would be during the night, of course. I can't see a blind thing. There we go. There it is. Here's your vehicle part. Hope you're happy with it. Marvellous. Detach. And stop engine. There we go. And where are we with Forester? Forester? Just have a few more waypoints. Right. Ha 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 ha! Yes, I mean, since I did the tier lists, I think we've had the Mac, we've had the Kenworth, we've had the did I include the Derry and the Zeeks in the last tier list? I think I did, but I hadn't used them, so I was going on kind of like empirical data for them. But then some of the other trucks that I've used since then have also had alternated opinions. So, like the Azov 5 has dropped in my opinion. The Wrangler has gone up. So, you know, we'll also have 2 new scouts as well to talk about when we get to phase 11. We'll have the big 6x6, which is actually really exciting. I'm actually quite looking forward to that. Simply because I'm hoping it's going to be a scout that'll be able to tow a trailer and have a crane and be able to do it efficiently. Because that would be really interesting. But I mean, we'll have to see what that pans out. And then we've got another small scout which looks terrible, basically. I honestly don't know why they keep putting trucks like that into the game. I mean, I suppose there is an argument for variety, but you really want variety on trucks that actually perform. And that little small scout just looks like it's going to be another Don, which is kind of disappointing, really. Because the little 4x4s, on the whole, are great. But hey, what do I know? Maybe it'll be a surprise. Anyway, let's get this done and dusted. And then I think we're going to call it for today, guys. I know I've only got, after this, I've only got one more task to do. Ooh, there's rumours of a third new truck in either in-game or DLC. Nice! Well, that'll be good. But yeah, I know I've only got one more task to do, guys, but I am going to get it done today. It's not going to be possible. And if I try and rush it, it'll be an absolute disaster. So, we'll finish off this phase next time, which will be Thursday, 6 PM GMT as usual, unless anything comes up in the meantime. And then we'll see what happens. Yeah? We shall see. What we shall see. Here we go, the last little delivery. Done. That's all that's left. Look at that, it's going to be set on like, yeah. Oh, 98%. It counts this last task as 2%. Interesting. I suppose it is a big one, but yeah, 63 of 64 missions completed. Oh, man. And we're back up to 400,000 money-wise. I don't know why people initially said that doing hard mode was going to be impossible because of the cash. You know? I have never had a problem with cash. Like, after getting through Michigan, you know, where money is always a little bit tight when you start the game, it's always tight getting money for your upgrades and such. But as soon as you've done Michigan, I have never had a problem with cash. I've never been short. I mean, back to 407,000. It's crazy. I think I started this region with about 200 and something thousand. So, you know, despite the fact that I have spent a load, I've still made 170,000 or something like that. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad that disaster that we had with the trailer on this mission didn't take too long to fix. So yeah, so next Thursday we'll come back to this, we'll tackle the last job, we'll get that done. Probably be a very short stream, but you're welcome to join me. I will be streaming it as usual, and then we'll see what happens next Sunday. Who knows? We might get Phase 11 coming out. We might not. I will let you guys know as and when I can. Hey, it's nice to have you, Turtle. Nice to have you back. I know you've been absent for a wee while, so always nice to see people getting back to the stream. Always appreciate having people drop in. So, yeah, hope you can make the next one, or if you can't, the next one after that. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. So, as always, thank you very much. I believe I've said that already, but I don't care. I'll say it again. Thank you all. And, yeah, until next time, guys, take care, stay safe. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.